From humble beginnings in a public HDB flat in Marine Parade to the helm of government, Lawrence Wong's journey is nothing short of remarkable. As Singapore's first prime minister, born after the nation's modern establishment, he symbolizes a new era of leadership and possibility. Join us as we unveil the untold story of this economist-turned-statesman, who now steers the Lion City as its fourth prime minister. Lawrence Wong Shion Sai is a Singaporean politician, economist who has been the current and fourth prime minister of Singapore since 2024 and minister for finance since 2021. A member of the governing People's Action Party, he has been a member of parliament, representing the Limbang division of Marsiling UTGRC since 2015, and previously the Boon Lay division of West Coast GRC between 2011 and 2015. Before entering politics, Wong worked at the Ministry of Trade and Industry, the Ministry of Finance, and the Ministry of Health. He was principal private secretary to Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong between 2005 and 2008. He also served as the chief executive officer of the Energy Market Authority between 2009 and 2011. Wong made his political debut in the 2011 general election, where he contested in West Coast GRC as part of a 5-member PAP team and won. Wong subsequently contested in Marsiling UTGRC in the 2015 general election and retained his parliamentary seat in the 2020 general election. Before he was appointed Minister of Finance, Wong served as Minister for Culture, Community and Youth between 2012 and 2015, Second Minister of Communications and Information between 2014 and 2015, Minister for National Development between 2015 and 2020, Second Minister of Finance between 2016 and 2021, and Minister for Education between 2020 and 2021. Wong was the co-chair of a multi-ministerial committee set up by the government. In January 2022, managed the COVID-19 pandemic in Singapore. As Minister for Finance, he has overseen the gradual increase in goods and services tax, which Lee's government has advocated for -8% in 2023 and 9% in 2024, up from 7%, which had been set since 2007. In April 2022, he was chosen as the leader of the PAP's fourth-generation team, placing him in line as Lee's apparent successor. Wong assumed the office of Deputy Prime Minister of Singapore on the 13th of June 2022, serving alongside Heng Swee Keat. On the 26th of November 2022, Wong was appointed to the newly created position of Deputy Secretary General of the PAP. Wong was previously chairman of the Monetary Authority of Singapore from 2023 to 2024, and deputy chairman between 2021 and 2023. He assumed chairmanship of the Investment Strategies Committee of GIC from the 7th of July 2023, while he assumed chairmanship of the International Advisory Council of the Economic Development Board from the 8th of July 2023 till his subsequent relinquishment to Gan Kim Yong on the 1st of June 2024. Wong was appointed deputy chairman of GIC's Board of Directors on the 1st of October 2023. On the 15th of May 2024, Wong was sworn in as the fourth Prime Minister of Singapore, becoming the first Prime Minister born after the establishment of modern-day Singapore. On the 4th of December 2024, he was elected Secretary General of the People's Action Party. Early life and education. Wong was born to a Hainanese family on the 18th of December 1972 in eastern Singapore. Growing up, his family lived in a public housing and development board flat in Marine Parade. Wong's father, born in Hainan and later moved to Malaya and finally to Singapore, worked as a sales executive while his mother was a teacher at his primary school. His father gave him a guitar as a child, and he developed a love for music. Wong attended Haig Boys Primary School, Tangjong Katong Technical School, and Victoria Junior College before going to university in the United States. Wong received a Bachelor of Science with a major in economics from the University of Wisconsin Madison in 1994 under the Public Service Commission Scholarship. He received a Master of Arts in Applied Economics from the University of Michigan in 1995 and a Master of Public Administration from Harvard University. In 2004, civil service career. Wong began his career as an economist working in the Ministry of Trade and Industry. In August 1997, it was the beginning of the 1997 Asian financial crisis. And his first assignment involved preparing a report on regional economies and their effects on Singapore. He described the experience by saying, "Nothing that I learned in school prepared me for such an assignment." and recounted having to learn on the job. Wong was posted to the Ministry of Finance in January 2002, and then the Ministry of Health in July 2004, where he served as Director of Healthcare. Finance until May 2005. Wong served as the Principal Private Secretary to Prime Minister Lee Hsien-loong between May 2005 and August 2008. In September 2008, Wong became Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the Energy Market Authority, rising to Chief Executive Officer on the 1st of January 2009. He relinquished the role on the 1st of April 2011. Political career. Wong entered politics at the 2011 general election when he contested as part of a 5-member People's Action Party team in West Coast GRC. The PAP team won with 66.66% of the vote against the Reform Party, and Wong was elected as the Member of Parliament, representing the Boon-Lay Ward of West Coast GRC, Minister of State. On the 21st of May 2011, Wong was appointed Minister of State for Defense and Minister of State for Education. He was also appointed to the Board of Directors of the Monetary Authority of Singapore on the 10th of June 2011. On the 1st of August 2012, he was promoted to Senior Minister of Information, Communications, and the Arts, and Senior Minister of State for Education. On the 1st of November 2012, he was appointed Acting Minister for Culture, Community and Youth, and Senior Minister of State for Communications and Information. Wong led a team to bid for the Singapore Botanic Gardens to be recognized as Singapore's first UNESCO World Heritage Site Minister. On the 1st of May 2014, Wong was promoted to Minister for Culture, Community and Youth, and Second Minister for Communications and Information. He was also a co-opted member of the 32nd, 33rd, and 35th CEC before his win in the election into the 36th PAP Central Executive Committee. Wong was also appointed as the head of the SG50 program, officer for 5 committees for Singapore's Golden Jubilee Year celebrations. Wong was also the SG50 Culture and Community Committee in August 2013. As Minister for Culture, Community, and Youth, Wong was involved in the Civic District, the birthplace of modern Singapore, which contained many institutions that have witnessed important turning points in Singapore's history. In January 2016, he assumed office as chairman of the PAP Community Foundation from 2016 until June 2022, when it was handed over to Minister Josephine Teo. In August 2016, the National Arts Council attracted criticism over the high consultation fees paid for a bin center, as flagged by the Auditor General's office. Wong addressed the issue in Parliament, saying that the project was at an acceptable cost due to the need for extensive study of the location and technicalities involved with building the refuse center in the Civic District. Under his charge, Wong introduced the $200 million Cultural Matching Fund, a $4 matching grant for cash donations to arts and heritage charities and institutions of public character in Singapore. In the 2015 general election, Wong was part of a 4-member PAP team contesting in the newly formed Marsiling UTGRC. The PAP team won 68.7% of the vote against the Singapore Democratic Party, was elected as the Member of Parliament representing the Limbang Ward of Marsiling UTGRC. Wong was also the chairman of the Steering Committee for the 2015 Southeast Asian Games. Wong had also announced several key initiatives to get more Singaporeans involved in sports. This includes a national movement called Active SG, which gives all Singaporeans and permanent residents activists $100 to sign up for sports programs and enter into swimming pools and gyms at the various sports centers island-wide. Wong also chaired the Singapore High Performance Sports Steering Committee, which provides strategic guidance on identifying and nurturing high-performing sporting talents. Wong said that the accomplishments of Singapore athletes at the 2015 Southeast Asian Games indicate that Singapore's investment in sports is paying off. On the 1st of October 2015, Wong became the Minister for National Development. He also chaired the Steering Committee for the Development of Jurong Lake Gardens. On the 22nd of August 2016, Wong was appointed Second Minister for Finance, in addition to being Minister for National Development. On the 29th of August 2016, he stepped down from the Board of Directors of the Monetary Authority of Singapore and was replaced by Ong The Kung. Wong received a Bachelor of Science with a major in economics from the University of Wisconsin. Madison in 1994 under the Public Service Commission Scholarship. On the 15th of May 2021, following another cabinet reshuffle, Wong relinquished his portfolio as Minister for Education and became Minister for Finance after Heng relinquished his cabinet portfolio. On the 28th of May 2021, he was reappointed to the Board of Directors of the Monetary Authority of Singapore as Deputy Chair, replacing Lim Heng Kiang. In February 2022, Wong announced a $500 million stimulus package due to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic in Singapore. Wong also said the government would set aside an additional $560 million to help Singaporean citizens deal with the rising cost of living. Later in June 2022, Wong announced another $1.5 billion support package to provide targeted relief for lower-income and vulnerable groups. At Budget 2023, Wong announced that the assurance package was enhanced from $6.6 billion, announced in 2022, to $9.6 billion. This was to offset additional GST expenses for the majority of Singaporean households for at least 5 years. In September 2023, Wong announced an additional $1.1 billion cost of living support package to provide more relief for Singaporean households, especially lower to middle income families. Deputy Prime Minister Wong with acting United States Deputy Secretary of State Victoria Nuland in October 2023. On the 14th of April 2022, Wong was selected as the leader of the PAP's fourth-generation team, succeeding Deputy Prime Minister Heng Swee-keat, who had stepped down as 4G leader on the 8th of April 2021. Before his appointment, Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong delegated former PAP Chairman Khaw Boon Wan to initiate a consultation process among the fourth-generation ministers of the cabinet, aimed at garnering their individual views regarding the selection of a new 4G leader. Lee and senior ministers Tharman Shanmugaratnam and Teo Chee Hean abstained from participating. Wong received an overwhelming majority of support in the consultation process, surpassing that of Ong The Kung and Chen Chen Sing. His cabinet colleagues and co-contestants in the 4G leadership race, he received 15 out of the 19 votes from the stakeholders polled. And as no candidate is allowed to vote for himself, this meant that only 3 other individuals did not vote for him as their first choice. His candidature was unanimously endorsed by the cabinet and subsequently by the PAP MPs at a party caucus on the 14th of April. His appointment was announced by Prime Minister Lee in a Facebook post the same day. On the 6th of June 2022, a cabinet reshuffle was announced where Wang was promoted to Deputy Prime Minister, further cementing his position as Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong's successor. In addition to becoming Deputy Prime Minister, he was named Acting Prime Minister. In Lee's absence, he has also taken over the responsibility of the strategy group in the Prime Minister's office from Heng Swee-keat. On the 28th of June 2022, Wong launched the Forward Singapore movement as part of his vision for a society that benefits many, not a few. The Forward Singapore report was released on the 27th of October 2023. Following the resignation of former senior minister and current president Tharman Shanmugaratnam, Wong was appointed to several positions, such as chair of the GIC Investment Strategies Committee and chair of the HDB International Advisory Council until his subsequent relinquishment of the chairmanship to Gan Kim Yong and deputy chairman of the GIC. On the 5th of November 2023, Lee Hsien Loong announced that he would hand over the premiership to Wong by November 2024 before the next general election, if all goes well. Prime Minister Wong subsequently emerged as Lee's apparent successor to the position of Prime Minister. The latter's initial plan to step down at 70 had been complicated by Heng's withdrawal. On the 15th of April 2024, the Prime Minister's office issued a press statement confirming that Lawrence Wong would succeed Lee Hsien Loong as Prime Minister. Wong was officially sworn in at 20 o'clock local time on the 15th of May at the Astana. He became the country's 4th Prime Minister, the first to be born after Singapore's independence in 1965. At his swearing-in ceremony, during his first speech as Prime Minister, Wang stated, "This is my promise to all Singaporeans. I will serve you with all my heart. I will never settle for the status quo. I will always seek better ways to make tomorrow better than today." He also stated that his mission as Prime Minister was to continue defying the odds and to sustain this miracle called Singapore. On the 12th of June 2024, it was announced that Gan Kim Yong had taken over as chairman of the Economic Development Board's International Advisory Council since the 1st of June from Wong, who previously took over from Tharman in July 2023. On the 4th of December 2024, he was elected Secretary General of the People's Action Party. Foreign policy. Wong made his first overseas visits as Prime Minister from the 11th of June to the 12th of June 2024, where he made his introductory visits to Brunei and Malaysia as Prime Minister. Wong attended his first ASEAN meeting as Prime Minister from the 9th to the 12th of October, and the first Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting from the 23rd to the 26th of October. Wong attended his first APEC and G20 meetings as Prime Minister from the 14th to the 16th of November in Peru and the 17th to the 20th of November in Brazil. General Election 2025. The PAP has named Lawrence Wong is one of the candidates who will stand for election in the Marseillan UT Group Representation Constituency, if successful on nomination day. Wong will be defending his seat as an incumbent MP against a team from the Singapore Democratic Party. Personal life. Wong was previously married at 28 but divorced his first wife after 3 years because of incompatibility. His second wife is Lutz Loiz, a former banker currently working in wealth management and who served on the board of directors of YMCA Singapore. He has no children and is a Methodist Christian. His elder brother is an aerospace engineer at DSO National Laboratories. His hobbies include playing the guitar and riding motorcycles.